you know, when things like this are happening, it seems everyone starts to look up, like my crew and I have been here in Mendham recording this video that you're looking at right now. We have no idea what it is, if it's a natural phenomenon, because it could be, but this is why so many municipalities are now asking people to reach out and send their videos to them or to experts who might be able to sort out what they're seeing in the skies. But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in Mendham Borough. Tony Yates, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Lee's saying he's wondering whether or not that might be the moon, Tony, but you pointed out it's exactly the question people are asking. What is it?
No. Yeah. Yeah, no, we're looking at the moon right now, and that's nowhere near the moon.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the moon.
More drone sightings reported in New York, New Jersey, and Maryland, and lawmakers are asking President Biden to do more to find out who is behind them. White House says there is no evidence that the reported drones pose any threat. ABC's Perry Russom has more from Washington.
The chorus of concern over mysterious drones in the Northeast is growing louder.
I've never seen anything like it. It's just a drone on steroids.
Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan posting this video saying he witnessed dozens of large drones above his house for 45 minutes last night. ABC News cannot confirm what these videos show.
Oh, they are getting closer.
New Jersey Senator Andy Kim recording this last night while riding along with police.
We're counting oftentimes 5, 6, 7 or more at any given time. And I know it's something that's alarming a lot of people.
New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy sending a letter to President Biden saying more resources are needed to fully understand what is behind this activity.
You have an invasion coming into the state of New Jersey, hundreds or thousands of them all over everybody's houses, only about 200 feet high. This is priority.
Drones also seen over parts of New York City.
You know, there's a saying that we had after 9/11, if you see something, say something. I think that's become, if you see something, don't worry about it.
White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says there is no evidence the reported drones pose any threat or are tied to a foreign country.
Upon review of available imagery, it appears that many of the reported sightings are actually manned aircraft that are being operated lawfully.
That answer is not enough for some local leaders.
I'm incredulous about that. That is ridiculous. I would invite Mr. Kirby to Mine Hill. Come on out, and you can count him with me all night.
This comes as the FAA says a pilot reported seeing unidentified lights while flying over Oregon last weekend. That pilot told air traffic control he saw a red circle-shaped object zipping out over toward the ocean.
Oh my God, here we go. Here it is. Are you freaking kidding me right now? What is that?
We are learning new details, but still not getting a lot of clarity when it comes to these mysterious drones that have been spotted flying over parts of the Northeast. The Department of Homeland Security says they are much larger than recreational drones and are likely not flown by hobbyists. They've also been able to evade traditional detection methods. The FBI is looking into the sightings, and the Pentagon says there is no evidence the drones pose a threat or come from foreign entities or adversaries.
What the fuck is happening?
Jen. Sabrina, can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drone sightings over New Jersey? It's near sensitive installations. The FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones? Were U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership launching drones towards the United States.
New Jersey has some of the best detection equipment in the nation, I am told. We have by far the most robust equipment, is what the state police told us. The detection equipment is up, but not detecting. These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected. Here's some unknowns. And again, they were very transparent today. So some of the unknowns. The state police says, unknowns. We have no idea where they're taking off from. No idea. We have no idea where they're landing. No idea at all. We have no idea who's behind them, because as I mentioned, they are not state, and we are told it is not federal. We have no idea the drone types, as I mentioned before. They stay up about 6 to 7 hours, and if you're a drone operator, you probably know that that's a very, very long time. We know that we've gotten close, but when we do get close, the lights have gone dark and they have left the area. And we do know that they are flying, as I've repeatedly said, they are flying over critical infrastructure like reservoirs, Picatinny Arsenal, Trump Bedminster, and our nuclear power plants.
This is crazy. My God, look at it. That's not a plane. That is wild. Look at it. I can't. That's going way too fast. That's not. What's up with my camera? I had to go run in and get my camera. Nobody was gonna believe me. What's with my camera? Look at this thing. Is he... Jesus Christ. Insane.
We know that commercial drones tend to be a typical size, and they use a certain amount of power, if you will, and have a certain amount of loiter time, a certain amount of range. And typically can be anywhere between 15, maybe 20 minutes if you're lucky. And then you have to have line of sight in order to control these things. If you talk about anything bigger than that, you're really talking about a state-sponsored capability. This isn't a hobbyist. This isn't a drone that someone buys, let's say, from Radio Shack or buys from Amazon. This is something far more complex that can be flown beyond line of sight, i.e. over the horizon, and has a loiter capability in some cases of several hours. And if you're talking about an SUV size or larger potentially drone, this is a problem. Look, the U.S. Navy has been reporting these types of drones, in some cases the size of cars and even bigger, for years now. And this is exactly emphasizing the point why we need to take this topic seriously.
There's other possibilities as well. And so let's talk about those possibilities, for example. It's possible that you could have, for example, a UAP being seen over a sensitive U.S. facility or installation. And so what do? We launch our drones, because typically in the past we used to fly helicopters, but helicopters are expensive. And let's face it, you may have one or two if you're lucky, if it's available to you. And there's time it takes to get a pilot, wake them out of bed, have them go to the helicopter, start it up and fly it. By then, whatever it is you're chasing is long gone. So it makes sense that you have these quick response, quick reaction drones on or near military installations, that if there was an event, you could launch these immediately. In fact, almost autonomously. autonomously, and they would all go to a pre-arranged location and start surveying the area to see if they can find what's in and around the area. So is it possible that some people are seeing UAP initially, and then the government's response is to launch these drones to try and find these things in a relatively quick and efficient manner? And so what people are seeing, in some cases, some are seeing the initial UAP, whereas others are now seeing the follow-on response, the U.S. response, and trying to identify these things. Is that a possibility? I think so. That certainly could be a possibility. You know, drones now and drone technology is becoming far more prevalent.
So residents in Morris County tell me this has been happening every single night with the exception of Thanksgiving over the past few weeks. One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times. Then they say the clock went back to normal after they drove off.
Okay, legit, I had to like pull over and like pull this back up because I thought maybe it's a car party, right? There's a bunch of like those weird looking Tesla vehicles over there, and I thought maybe it's like a car club. They're just all meeting up, and it's a Thursday night. I just want to show you, but there's no one over there. There's not a body. There's not a person. Like if it was a car club, those are pretty common around Atlanta. But look at this. I'm gonna zoom in just so you. But the video that I heard was, it was like this girl who was saying like, have you seen any of like the lights flickering or anything like that? And then there was a guy in Jersey who was like, yeah, my apartment car, I mean my like house lights, I'm sorry, my house lights have been going off and like flickering. And she made a video of like lights just like this doing the same thing in a parking lot.
Some of the drones have been spotted close to a military installation and President-elect Trump's Bedminster Golf Club, where he frequently stays. Tonight, the FAA says at the request of federal security partners, it is prohibiting drone flights over Picatinny Arsenal Military Base and Trump's golf course.
Over the skies of the world, the most extraordinary display of something, objects in our skies, the frequency of which I've never had reported to me to such an extent before. It's off the charts. It's absolutely amazing to be receiving reports, as I am hourly, minute by minute, from people in countries all over the world who are saying that they are seeing objects, strange objects, glowing luminous orbs, orange orbs, blue triangular shaped objects hovering over often sensitive military facilities. Now, of course, the biggest area of reports has been in the United Kingdom in recent weeks, and we know that over some of the most sensitive bases in the UK, RAF Lakenheath, RAF Feltwell, bases where the United States allegedly stores nuclear weapons, there have been sightings of